Boys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys know, been investing millions of dollars into the studio, but I got a camera I don't know how to really operate, and I pressed the wrong button. I just want to show you guys this. I screwed up the white balance, okay? Look at me there. Look how tan I was. And then now, somehow I messed. I'm going to figure it out. My half cube inside, when I turn this setting on, left the building, okay? And the whiteness that I have in my running through my veins, hostile takeover. But anyway, I'll be trying to get that somewhere in that look back. And look, it's not that I'm vain. I just don't want to be accused of identity theft. Look, there's already one too many of these pale half Cuban boys with beards named Steven on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, that's not us. Our name is not Stephen Bonnell. So anyway, that's my point. So this is my official announcement. It's my camera. It's the $1 million setup. It's screwed up right now. I'm going to fix it. But in the meantime, I had a professor who just was arrested for secretly working for China. And that's it. That's the headline. And it's absolutely true. Check this out. This is so blow your mind. So somebody sent me this. As you guys know, I went to Texas A&M. Hold your applause, please. Don't applaud. No, stop it. Stop it. No. No, stop it. Okay, keep going. I know. It's kind of a big deal. Okay, I went to Texas A&M. Anyways, I saw this little article in the Battalion, and it said Texas A&M professor arrested accused of lying about Chinese affiliations while working with NASA. And so I see this guy, I'm like, oh, it's just probably some guy that I don't know. And then I'm like zooming in and I'm like, wait, that guy looks familiar. And then I thought, it's been a while since I've been in college. It's been a few years now. But I was like, did I take that professor? I feel like I had that professor before. I could swear I had him. So I looked him up. Zhengdong Cheng, or Dr. Cheng, as we knew him. And sure enough, like, I'm bad with names, but I remembered this guy. I was like, something about this guy. I know I had him before. Check this out, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, I logged back into my old account and looked back in 2015. And yes, I took him. I had a safety course, a safety engineering course. And I had Zheng Cheng in Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the blocker room, which was a building on campus. Now, what does that mean, guys? Am I qualified to speak about whether Zheng Cheng's worked for China or not? I think so. In fact, I think I have incriminating circumstantial evidence to add. If the DOJ wants to call me, I'm ready to Tekashi 69 this guy. Because when you go look at the court order, he had been committing these actions from April 2013 until present, which means at the time I was taking his course, he was fraudulently working for China while also working for America and allegedly stealing trade secrets from American companies. Now, I want to talk about my experience with him because I kind of feel bad. Because, frankly, this guy was a great professor. Well, by great professor, I mean that I got an A in his course, dude. I was not the perfect student, as you can tell, but I got an A in that guy's course. And the one thing I remember about it is that I never went to that class. At the beginning of every year in college, you try to determine which of these classes do I actually have to attend and which ones can I just study right before the test. This was definitely a study right before the test. And I thought at the time, that's weird. A lot of these professors were like, you had to show up consistently. But now it makes sense because I think this guy was too busy working for China to really run the class. And it's not just me saying that. Like, just look at the criminal complaint. It says that during about 9 months, he spent approximately 133 days outside of the United States. So he was going back and forth between China and the U.S. all the time. So how are his students going to show up? He doesn't even want them to show up because he's not going to be there. But it's hard for me to hate on him too much because at the time and still now, I was like, when you're trying to keep your GPA up, it's pretty nice to get an A for barely showing up at all. So I don't know. I'm conflicted about this one. I really am. Because I liked Zhengdong Cheng. I really did. And now it turns out he may have been a Chinese spy. And I don't know really how to feel about it. Because on the one hand, I want him to get acquitted. On the other hand, he definitely lied.
He was very sneaky.
Apparently, my professor was trying to become something called a TTP recipient. It's called the Chinese Talent Program, but allegedly, it's just a way that they pay scientists who work in America, and they get them to steal IP. I mean, that's definitely simplifying it, but that's basically what this thing alleges. So it's kind of a big deal that this guy was working for NASA. He got this almost $1 million grant with NASA, which he was the principal investigator on. And he was constantly certifying throughout that process that he has no affiliations with China because he's going to get this U.S. grant to work on U.S. technology. And he conveniently forgets to mention that he had a Chinese technology company that he formed. And he conveniently forgets to mention that he filed 2 Chinese patents while he's working for NASA based on similar research. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, dude. He's double dipping hard. Not a good look for Texas A&M. And definitely not a good look for my professor here. I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, how do you guys feel? Having a professor that gives you A's for basically doing nothing. On the other hand, your professor is working for the Chinese government while getting NASA grants and potentially handing over IP. And it's not just Zhengdong Cheng who's tied to China. It's a bunch of these guys. Look at this. This is a former Cleveland Clinic researcher charged with fraud for failing to disclose China ties. So it's the same thing. Look at this guy. A acclaimed Harvard scientist is arrested, accused of lying about ties to China. It's an epidemic. I found this paper in Sciencemag. 4 years after the National Institutes of Health began to investigate grantees who had believed had failed to disclose their ties to foreign governments, officials still don't know the extent of the problem. We learned of 150 cases in the last 12 months. So this is extremely bad. And this was a very sneaky thing for Zhengdong Cheng to do. And I'm disappointed in him as a former student of his. But what I'm most interested in is to see what China's response to this is, whether they're going to try to get him back to the country or what. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And thanks for watching.
And don't forget to smash like and subscribe. Thank you.